Well, hello there, Scandinavian photo and Sony fans. My name is Kyle Meyr. I am a Sony Alpha ambassador, and today I woke up and just felt like doing as much cool stuff as possible. So, it is close to midsummer here in Norway, and because of that, we have sunlight forever. So we woke up, picked up a car, and we're gonna start the day, high speed, flying around the mountains around Oslo and shooting this car. It's a Porsche 718 Boxster, for those who care. GTS, that's right. Should we just get straight into the photos? Yeah, let's just do it. One long session. So, camera stuff is in the trunk. Use the secret password to get in. And for this spot, because it is a little bit cloudy, because it's not perfect, I kind of want to put more focus on the car. So I'm gonna shoot a bit tighter. So we might go with a 50 mil. I think that's a good balance, at least to start with. 50 millimeter, where are you? And I am using, we're running out of English. Already, we just hit start. I'm using the Zeiss 50 mil f1.4. It is a monster, it is trustworthy, and I'm gonna put a polarizing filter on it because if you're shooting cars, you should always have a polarizing filter. And if you don't, I highly recommend you get one because it will save you a lot of hassle. Little tech talk for you. What a polarizing filter does is it gets rid of polarized light, which is the light that's bounced off of reflective surfaces. Things like the windshield, things like the windows, the sides, and the paint. And also some of the light from the sky because that is also polarized. So you get a richer blue in the sky, you get a richer color to the paint, you get just richer and deeper contrast to the whole photo. So we're gonna start with this. Let's see. We'll start pretty simple. We have the car parked 45 degrees already. That's like the go-to for every car photographer. One thing I'm gonna do right away is turn on the headlights because everybody wants to see the car looking its best. Might have to leave the keys in there. That should be easy enough. And then, are the headlights on? Let's see, yeah. Looks good. What about the high beams? Which one is better? We'll never know. We'll stick with this. Now we have sun. How fancy. Wait, I heard the parking sensor go off. So we'll start 45 degrees. I'm gonna shoot pretty, you know what? Let's start pretty wide. I'm gonna go f2, just so there's as much focus on the car as possible. And I'm gonna back up even more, give myself some space to work, put it on manual focus because you cannot trust auto sometimes. And just, also the car's not going anywhere. I don't need autofocus. So let's see, where do I want the polarizer? I'm gonna do 2 shots and we can see the difference. I'm shooting at ISO 100 to get the best quality I can. I'm shooting at a very high shutter speed because it is very bright, and I am also shooting at f2 because I want a lot of focus on the car and not the background. So I'm gonna get into my sweet photographer stance, go manual focus, and I'm gonna shoot one photo where the polarizing filter is set to the side of the car. And then one where the polarizing filter is set to the top of the car so you can see straight through the windshield. And then I'll combine those. And you'll see one photo now where the polarizing filter is hitting both of them. How do you like the stance, by the way? Give me a like or a comment if you're into the stance. It's good for the back, right? Most photographers come in here and hit you with this arch back. You need the rock star stance, like you're about to slam on the guitar. Some of the details of the car that we want to show off. The wheels are cool. The text on the side, GTS 4.0, is cool. Some of the other stuff, the headliner, not the headliner, the headrests with optional extras. It's good if you're shooting cars to do some research into what optional extras are on the car so you can know what to focus on when you are shooting. So, having said that, let's start off by shooting the wheels. It is a shame that they are not straight up and down, but This is kind of a high-speed shoot today. Run and gun. So let's get down low to their level. I like shooting eye level with whatever it is that I am shooting. I'm gonna go manual again, just to make sure. And this is why I like the 50 millimeters. It's good for all of it. I can just leave it on, get up close if I want some really good details, and back up if I want a wide picture. So there we go. I'm just gonna play around with the polarizer, but I think it was best on the first one. Then even if you feel stressed, like in a high-speed photo shoot where you really don't have time to check things, you have to force yourself to double check the photo and just make sure that you got it in focus, because there's nothing worse than coming home with only soft photos. Lord knows that's happened to all of us. I'm gonna get the details of the text on the side of the car. And I use the screen a lot, mostly because I don't want to lay down on the ground. I'm not that committed. So I like leaving the screen flipped out, going in and really getting that focus right about here. It's a little bit dark, so I'm gonna lighten it with the shutter speed. And there we go. Now we have a shot of the detail on the side. Play with the polarizing filter. I can do a quick here's without the polarizer and here's with the polarizer. Pretty big difference. Let's shoot the headrest. I think the driver's seat is a little bit too far forward, so I'm going to push that back. The car is nervous that I'm so close. Did you hear that? The car looks more natural when both seats are back at least equal to each other. So I'm going to do that. And while I'm here, pretty nice little detail on the running board there. What makes this car special is that it is the GTS version of the Boxster. And what really shows that is the headrests and things like the text at the bottom and the badge on the back. So I think it's very important that we do show that. And to do that, I'm going to be shooting tight on those details. But this, I'm going to go down on a knee and really make sure I get that focus. And there we go. You can also shoot through the windshield and set the polarizer to get rid of the reflections on the windshield. That way you get kind of a unique soft vibe to the photo. I think it's cool. There we go. Perfect. Cool. Ow. And also, it is manual. So we want to show the stick. Also want the screen to be off. Why is that on? While we're still here, let's shoot the badge. Actually, that's going to look better if we point it somewhere else. Yeah, I only want clean sky behind that, so let's turn the car around. So we're pointing it towards the clean sky. Which way? I kind of want to point it that way. So there's two more details that I want to shoot. One, I want to bounce around the interior. We've moved the car in a place that I think is better for that. And two, I want to get the badge and the rear lights just straight on. And for that, I'm going to turn on the running lights. Are they on? They are, yes. Just looks a little bit more natural when you have the lights on. Cars look dead without it. And I'm just going to shoot straight onto the back of it. I'm going to get in my stance. There it is. It's looking better each time. I had leg day yesterday, so I'm like super stiff. Okay, I got to back up the stance a bit. And then for this, I left it on 6.3, f6.3. And I'm just going to shoot auto and just see what's going on. Part of the story is that it is a convertible. So I kind of want to show the back of the seats so you can see them sticking out the top of the car. Let's take a look. It's close, it's not quite there. I'm gonna go a little bit lower and further back so you get the whole car. Oh, look at the stance. Not flexible at all. Oh yeah, that's the shot. Look at this, now you can see it. Pretty cool. That's pretty close to it. The lights are flickering, so I have to time it a bit. But I think I have plenty to work with. Just gonna shoot some details of the badge and the logo. For that, I need that polarizer to play ball. Just cool lines. I just want like abstract lines. Super simple details. But there's gonna be a lot of guessing and checking and hoping for the best. Let's shoot the interior now while we have it. I'm gonna turn off the lights because I don't want the screen on. I think it's a little bit nasty. And now it is off. I'm gonna open the door and I'm gonna shoot through it so we have more space to actually get the whole interior. The light's hitting it pretty well. For a naturally lit spot, I'm pretty happy with it. So we just run and gun. Things we want to show off. The stick, we want to show some of the details of the wheel, of the dash, some of the optional extras that I think are super pretty. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm guessing I got some more photos. If I did, you'll see them here. Let's call it there. Let's move on to the next spot, the next activity, and keep this best day ever going. I'm on a boat now, as you can see. Today is a day full of engines and action and adventure. Hopefully I will have explained this a little bit already, but if I haven't, we're gonna be shooting some wakeboarding. We're gonna be hanging behind a boat, and since we are behind a boat, we're gonna be shooting a little bit tighter than what we were shooting with, and I think I'm going to be shooting with the trusty, the one and only 70-200 f2.8 G Master, the monster, the beautiful lens, a go-to for every action sports photographer, for every journalist, for every sports dude out there. You need one of these. These things kill it. Super good. So hopefully it will do its job today. It's gonna be hard though. We are moving. Oh, look at that dude. Sick wheelies. I need this dude to turn around. Here we go. Where to shoot from? I kind of want to stay low. I hang out in the back seat and just keep the camera super low. Spray and pray. Just like, oh, he did, yeah! He's having fun. time to get radical. Yeah! I want him to fall so badly. Sup? Guess what? We're here. New location, new activity. The skies are closed up a little bit, but it's supposed to be nice later. But guess what? We are here with the mighty, the magnificent, the razzle-dazzle Mr. Rasmus. Yes, sir. He's going to be sending off this massive crane thing in the background. What do you think? How tall?
I mean, we're probably going to go 15.
15? Oh my God. Okay.
We'll see.
So it's about to get extreme. We're continuing the day full of activities. And with that, I'm gonna wish you well. You can go ahead and get started climbing. I'm gonna dig through my bag of treats, my lenses, and let's see what we can find.
I'm gonna get ready.
Yes, sir. I will see you out there. For now, you are following me. And as always, I have filled my bag to the brim with all the coolest shit that I could find, and a towel. We have the 70-200, the ultra wides, we have it all. But which one should we be using? When you're shooting something vertical like this, to get the true sense of how tall it actually is, there's only really one, I think, obvious solution, at least for my style of photography, where I back up and I try to get eye level with the middle of it, and I shoot kind of tight, like a 50mm or something normal. The alternative to make something look really big is to shoot super wide underneath it, shooting up. We can try that once if he's up to do 1 or 2 jumps. But for the first one, let's stick to what we know, and let's go with the 50mm. I think that's a good start for where we're at here. If it's not long enough, I might stick with the 70. Before I change, let me see what it looks like through the 70. Because this might be it. It will close the background. Yeah, there we go. The 70-200 is, that's gonna be our lens. And I think we're gonna hover around 100. So I was a little off with my visual pat down, if you will. But I'm pretty happy with this. Now we just find the angle, which I think is pretty perfect right here. I'm gonna go down just to the end of the dock, get by the water, set up, and we'll send it. Burst mode, as always. Keep it relatively tight aperture, and hope for the best. Let's see what happens. Change of plans. We're gonna start small, and we're gonna build up to the biggest one. So the first one, I mean, I say small, the first one's 6 meters already, right here. But like I was saying before, what we wanna do in that case is try to make it feel bigger. We wanna give it a sense of grandeur. So we wanna shoot right about like when he's at the apex of the jump. We wanna shoot wide, and we wanna shoot low, so it puts him up in the middle of the sky, and everything looks consequential, right? We want big consequences. I'm gonna switch to the 16-35, because that is my workhorse, that is my do everything lens. I am going to be shooting super high shutter speed, probably high aperture, just high aperture? Is it high or low aperture? Tight. So like 6.3, get everything in focus so I don't have to worry about losing him. And then from here, I want to show he's got to jump a little bit of a gap to get over this concrete, and I kind of want to show that because it's part of the consequence. So I'm going to be just at the edge, shooting vertically, and then I'm going to get as low as possible, and right here I think is going to be the photo. Yeah, perfect. I'm going to get rid of some of the stuff in my pocket just in case. I don't want anything to go swimming. Not without me, at least.
A little gainer.
Perfect.
From here, that's fine?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Yeah. Okay, you're with me?
Yes, sir.
All right, send it.
Yeah. Starting off simple. Nice. Clean, easy, looking good. Is it just flat up there?
Just like a little.
Slightly downhill.
Yeah, but just as you see.
Nice. It'd also be cool to shoot one from above. Yeah, let's try that. I'll hike up with you.
Yeah.
Going up. If I'm shooting from this way, it's pretty complicated.
I can
So,
jump over there too.
nah, I'm gonna hang out on this side.
Yeah.
Where's your run up?
Doesn't matter. Here maybe?
Yeah. Can you stand on the edge? Let me just see how big you are compared to everything else.
I'm gonna be like here. I just don't want to get the takeoff too wet.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, something like here.
Yeah. Okay, that should be perfect. So I'm just gonna shoot super fast, follow you, and just hope for the best. I'm not gonna look.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. 3, 2, 1, send it.
The whole thing shook. A little bit sketchy. Definitely not as good as it would have been down there, but we're trying, and that's what we're here for. Only thing I could have done better is hang the camera over the edge. Let me see what would that look like. Yeah, if he's down to try again, we might try that one more time. Trial and error. It's not meant to be easy. Try one more from here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna shoot the same way this time. I'm just gonna hang it over the edge.
All right, you with? 3?
Yep, good to go.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, send it.
That was rad. That's dope. So we started small. We're a little bit warmed up. We've got some stuff that we know works. Now it's time to get a bit risky. He's going up to the bigger spot. If you can figure out how to get up there. It's so sketchy. It's so sketchy. I'm gonna try to do 2 different things. He seems pretty confident that he can do 2 jumps. So with that kind of flexibility, I'm gonna try 2 different styles of photo. So we have 2 different, completely different pieces of content. One is gonna be wide. I'm gonna shoot wide. I'm gonna try to get a little bit artsy. I'm gonna get all these lines kind of flowing through the photo and try to tell a bit more of a story. The second one is gonna be tighter from further back. That's gonna be it's at 100 millimeter or whatever we decided. So let's try the wide one really quick first. Damn, look at him go. Okay, where do I wanna be? Since we're so far away, the manual focus should be pretty reliable because it's so deep. So if I just keep it at f6.3, I think we're pretty good. I'm also gonna stand up. So here the difference between standing up and going lower is pretty big. You're starting to obstruct the photo a lot when you squat down. So it's this versus this. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, fuck it, full send. So I'm gonna stand up for this one.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, send it.
Oh my God. Whoa! That was awesome. How'd that look? Super bright sky, so he's a little bit silhouetted.
Slightly over-rotated, but that was chill.
Oh, not by much, dude. Not by anybody's standards but your own.
Hey, does it look good?
Yeah, it looks rad. Okay, so it's time to go wide, or no, the time to go wide has come and gone. It's time to go tight. We've backed up a lot. We've gotten a lot of distance between us and him. We got to kind of change a little bit fast because these kind of athletes are impatient, and it's probably better that they are because it gets scarier the longer you think about it. So let's change, let's get into position, and let's shoot. Ooh, windy. Okay, found a spot. We have a lot of lateral room to play with here, not much front and back. I'm just gonna get to the edge, pick a spot. There's a big difference between shooting over there and over there. If I'm shooting closer to the wall, I lose some of the face of the wall. And in losing that, you lose some of the story and some of the height and the grandeur, right? It's a big thing. We want to show that it's a big thing. If I go over there, we show too much of it. And we stand the risk of him not having separation between the wall and where he's at the peak of his jump. So we're going to shoot burst. I'm going to shoot right from about here, a little bit closer to the wall, not too close. And we're going to hope for the best. Oh, I didn't see any splash. That was beautiful. Oh my God. What did that look like? Oh yeah, perfect. Looks big, looks sick. I'm pretty happy with it. This is the shot, this is the one. Cool. And that's that. That's all it takes. We tried 3 different things, right? We tried wide from a smaller cliff, makes it look a little bit bigger. We tried it low, we tried it high. We tried wide from the bigger cliff, kind of adds a little bit more context to the story, adds a bit more lines, makes it a little bit more maybe artistic and unique. And then we tried longer, which puts a little bit more focus on the size of the cliff, a little bit more depth to the photo, and a little bit more grandeur in general. And I think the long one is right there. I think that's my photo. And there it is. Easy as that. Now it's time for me to try.
Yeah, dog. Fuck, that's so sick.
The whole sequence and the landing.
Oh, Lord. So
Nothing.
Sick. Dope. Yeah.
Clean, dude.
So sick.
Super clean.
Dope. Are you gonna jump?
I want to.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. Maybe not the big one.
Nah.
But one of them.
But the gap one is kind of like gnarly looking too.
It's a token. That's the pity compliment is what that is. Feels different up here. Okay, here we go. I'll count down.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. And with that, let's go pick up the car and keep shooting. I hear the sun's coming back out for sunset. Woo. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have found a new spot for our favorite car of the day. And now it's time to take some different photos. So at the risk, or to avoid the risk of having identical photos over and over and over again, I recommend switching lenses as often as you can. Just play around with what you've got and see if something works. I'm switching from the 50. I like the spot that we have. I think it suits the same kind of style, but I want a little more zoom, a little more focus on the car. So what I'm gonna do is switch to the 85. This is the Sony 85mm f1.4 G Master. It is a monster. It is beautiful. It's bulky and chunky, but it's supposed to be, and I like it because of that. I'm gonna put the polarizing filter on it. First, clean. Oops. I picked the worst place to put my bag. First, clean everything. There's always time. Nice. A little extra squirt for good luck. Clean everything. Take off the hood. I'm looking for a 77 millimeter filter, I'm fairly certain. And there it is. 77 millimeter polarizing filter. If you don't have a polarizer for each of your lenses and you shoot cars, you're stabbing yourself in the foot. Stabbing yourself in the foot. Is that a thing? Shooting yourself in the foot. Hey, I'm good at some things. English is not one of them. So, oh, it's a little dusty. There's so much pollen in the air in Oslo right now that things get dusty immediately. Okay, I'm gonna put this in a less precarious position and let's see what we've got. I like where the car is now. It is naturally lit. I'm not gonna mess too much with additional lighting because I think it's just gonna be too chaotic. If I step a little bit this way and get low to the eye level of the person driving the car, let's see how that looks. Looks pretty good. So I'm gonna drop the ISO to something. Actually, I'm gonna back up a bit because I like that the stacks, the weird smoke stacks, are in the background of the photo. So I'm gonna go back here and I wonder, yeah, that's a little bit better. It is a shame that the spot is so crooked, but you know what? It is what it is. And for my purposes, I don't mind too much. Oh, I'm on burst mode. Now, wakeboarding, I was shooting high speed. So one, and I'm gonna take one with the polarizer on the top of the car, and then two. Super crooked car, but it is what it is. So we straightened the car, got a little bit of a different angle on it, but I still need to get up high. I'm still shooting with the 85. Shooting at f6.3, so it's a bit wider. I'm gonna have to climb. Ugh. I can't see anything, I'm just guessing. Okay, let's see. How's that look? That's okay. It's okay, it's not bad, it's not perfect. It's just kind of good enough. That's not what I want. I want perfect. If I move the car forward, I'm scared of that line cutting the car in half. So what I will do is shoot vertically, and then I'm gonna stitch a bunch of photos together to make one wide one. Hopefully that works. I'm gonna have to go back up again. Okay. After wakeboarding, my grip strength is so weak now. Okay, going up. Okay, so got a bunch of photos, vertical photos, and now stitch them together to make one really good wide photo. I think that's an okay place to be. I'm happy with that. Woo, someone's having fun. If there's one more shot I want to move the car a little bit further into the center of the road, and I want to shoot it from the other side and add motion to it. If I shoot it close enough to the wall from the other side with the 50 millimeter, then I can make it look like the road sort of continues back on into forever, when in reality, it just ends right there. So when shooting with different lenses, it helps when you're thinking of how to shoot the car, it helps to think in terms of the lens. So instead of just going and picking up whatever lens looks good in the moment, try to think of the photo first and then put the lens together to make that photo work a little bit better for you. That's the idea, and I know the 50 millimeter is gonna work like that. That's the way I am seeing things at the moment. So let's switch lenses. Lens caps and everything back on. Where are the lens caps? Oh yeah, there it is. They disappear sometimes. And then 50 on instead. And we'll go polarizing filter once again on the 50. That's the 72 millimeter. And there it is. And then should be good to go, locked and loaded. Now I want to get the car centered. I want to put the car in the center of the road so it looks like it owns the road, almost as if this is a car commercial that's been set up just for this one car. Closed road, professionals only kind of vibe. So I'm gonna go push the car right into the middle of the road. Should take me a second. Okay. Car's looking good. I like the placement. I think it's clean. I think it's simple. I don't think it distracts too much from the actual car itself. So let's try to find a point where the reflections calm down. And that's right about here. So you don't get that super bright, shiny, like pop off the hood of the car. I'm gonna go down to the driver's eye level. And you know what, I might back up. I like this photo wider. So I'm gonna go, it's right about here. And I might be shooting from the hip for this one, but let's see. I'm gonna go into manual focus to make sure I actually get it. And let's shoot. Okay, so 50 millimeter, did the trick. Wide, you'll see the photo here. Ta-da! One thing that's kind of tricky with shots like this is that there's nobody in the driver's seat. So if the car is driving, it looks a bit unnatural. We might have to find a way to fix that if you're willing. One sec, let me see. So I'll just get one shot with your head in it and then we'll Photoshop them together. There it is, perfect. Cool. So this shot is pretty simple, but it's super clean because of the skyline. Very recognizably Oslo. I want it to be a bit wide, but I also want to focus a lot of attention because if you go too wide, there's a lot happening here. There's a lot of graffiti, a lot of stones, a lot of lines sweeping in and out of the shot. There's also a lot of posts. There's just a lot distracting. So I want as focused a shot as possible without being so focused that you don't recognize the location. You see Oslo skyline in the background. I want that, that's good. You see the mountain in the background, you see the Munch, yeah, it is the Munch Museum, the new Munch Museum in the background. It's all very recognizable. That's where the 50 is good at. But if you want the 50 like focal length or like, like aspect ratio, you want that kind of like depth of field, kind of wide, but also shallow. A good way to get that is to turn the 50 on its edge and then shoot a panorama like this. Well, let me get the polarizer dialed in. You shoot a panorama and then just gonna get one more. Cool. Stitch those together and you have a huge photo like this. So here you have the 50 on its own, and then here you have the 50 vertical stitched together. Pretty simple, easy step, or easy step, I mean, it's not easy, it's hard, and it makes a photo that's a million times the size of the original photo. But if you're willing to put in the time and the effort, I think it looks really, really good. So, on that note, I think that's it for this location. If there's anything else, it's gonna be little details, and we can just bounce around and get those, and hopefully put them up on the screen here. There we go. Did you see that kick? Guess what? I was kicking ass just as you're gonna kick ass now that you know all of my secrets about all of my favorite lenses. Ladies and gentlemen, Scandinavian Photo, Sony, thank you very much. Fans of all the above, I'm happy you're here, happy you came. I'm hanging out in the chat. If I haven't answered your question yet, we're gonna be hanging around for a few minutes. I will answer it then. If I don't get to it, I'm out of breath. If I don't get to it, send me a message on Instagram. I am there at Kyle Meyr. You will find me. I will answer all your questions. That is it for me. Thank you very much. I will see you in the chat. Oh, are you still recording? By the way, one more thing. Go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kyle Meyr. It's all cool stuff. If you're into cars, if you're into photography, it's all cool stuff. I promise you, just go click, subscribe, binge all the videos. Sweet, okay, there you go. That's it. I'll see you in the chat. See ya. I'm off to the chat. Here I go. Getting in the car. Vroom. Cut.